Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this special, may I say, historic edition of Question Time, never to be repeated. I'm Dobin. My guest this morning is Nolan, the Managing Director of Quick Element Systems Limited, who are a British software developer based in Broadway, Gloucestershire. Good morning to you. Peter's here to answer questions from genuine MFG Pro users around the UK, and the subject of the question generally is getting the best from our data and then using that usefully in our business to improve it.
Peter? Aficionados of Question Time may have noticed a slight dearth of panellists this morning. Normally we have 4, but only have 1. Does this mean I hear you cry that the swinging cost-cutting imposed by Messrs. Clegger and Clegger, which is sweeping through the marble halls of the BBC, has affected even good old Question Time? Well, it does. However, nothing daunted, we're going to carry on. Peter is nothing if not adaptable, and although he's going to answer questions from the standpoint of 3 different sorts of manufacturing organisation, by a system of hats, he's actually going to indicate a different operation. It's good enough for Tommy Cooper, folks. Could work for him. That's it. Also, you'll notice, moving rather furtively around the room with his video cameras, is that auteur and doyen of the moving image, Mr. Richard Wilkes. Richard tells me he's going to submit this particular video to a thing called YouTube, about which I must confess I know nothing at all. All his previous submissions have sadly been rejected. But he tells me he has a lot of hope for this one because, as he put it to me rather cryptically, at least this time all the people in it remain fully clothed. Or not, as the case may be. Right, moving on, if we may. The main thrust of our programme. So, Dr. Are you sitting comfortably?
I am, thank you.
Good. May we have question 1, please? Please not something.
Yeah, so I've got question 1. Thank you for the chocolates, they're very nice.
It's all right.
I use Cognos for my global reporting. I can drill down through the data to get to the lowest level. What can VCore provide that would improve on this functionality?
Did everybody get that question? Like to repeat it? You all have it? Good.
Bonjour, tout le monde. I'm not going to do the whole thing in French, A, because I can't, and B, because it freaks the Dobin out. Pan-European customer, 15 countries across Europe, essentially. So it's a long-term customer of ours. What we found with VCore was that it takes our ERP data and breaks it down into Lego bits, essentially. There is no end. If you imagine an infinitum loop, it's continuous. There is no finishing point. There's no end point. You can just move continuously through the data. This idea of a drill down report where you have an end, that's gone. It's finished. It doesn't exist anymore. Our tool is continuous. You follow your thoughts, you find the answer to the question. We got a massive return on investment very quickly as a result. People found it non-threatening, found the answers to what they wanted.
Unlike the stars.
Unlike the science.
Yeah, okay. Can we have question 2, please?
Oh, I don't know.
I get hit with really large licensing costs every year due to each user having to have a license. Sometimes 2 if they need access to the system and access to report. How does your licensing work?
Hey y'all. A large American corporate customer of ours, 54 sites around the world. The licensing on this product is per server. There is no license per user. But one server in, we can connect as many people to it as we need to. What we found was, in order to keep a load of our network, we needed to put a server in Asia, and we also wanted one in Europe, we wanted one in America. And essentially we paid 100% for the first one, and then we paid 50% for each of the other 2. We were able to load balance, put data near to the users, keep response times up. So essentially we've got 3 servers for the price of 2. And that's the way it works. Every subsequent server is 50% where we started. We know what we're going to pay, we get the response we want. And to be fair, it's a quarterly payment. The guys don't charge into anything more than 1 quarter at a time. That's it.
Question 3, please.
Come here.
Please.
I think Back in 2009, the Gartner report said that business intelligence tools were still not delivering collaborative decision making. Does V4 shed any fresh light on this?
I'll be answering this as a UK manufacturing company. We'd be down in Gloucestershire, where you'd be bringing in a modern internet and their fancy indoor toilets. This quite seriously is a customer of ours down in Gloucestershire, and most of them do talk to that, to be fair. So that was to answer the question about collaborative decision making, we found yes, it does do that. Because the software is simple to use and non-threatening, we have people in meetings from sales, from planning, from finance, for the first time, using data equally. They all have access to the data together at an equal level. There's none of this, I know this, you know that. They actually all have equal access. So, for us, yes, collaborative decision making actually works.
Well, I don't understand you actually empowered the sales team.
Surprising as it may sound, Dobin, yes, we did. And
With good results.
perhaps, to my surprise, yes, because they could provide input to data that everybody else could see. There was a level playing field for this time. The input I think respect amongst the people in the meeting grew as well, because they were saying, well, it's not just the salespeople complaining, they're actually providing real input here, positive input to the planners. Our stock holding went down. Our delivery to customer requirements went up. We went from, I think it was 67 to 97. Sorry, memory serves, it's roughly those figures, they're accurate figures. And stock holding went down by about 300,000.
Thanks. Not a very British solution, one has to say. Novel's all the same. That was very good. Right, moving on. Question 4, please.
There we go. I only have 2 questions for you. One is, what happens if I get lost and don't know what I'm looking at anymore? And my second question is, how do I get back to the previous thing?
Oh, you'd be answering this one again. We'd be simple folk down in the forest. That would be dangerous to simple folk. Another story entirely. This is a typical screen. Basically, even our users were able to understand the concept of, if it's blue, click it. There are no endpoints, there's no finish point, you keep following your thought. If you get, and the guys at Fifth Element will not like this, because it's a browser, you can hit the back button. You can just keep hitting the back button and go back to where you were. If you get really lost, over on the left-hand side there, you've always got the menu, tap on that, back to the top, job done. You just can't get lost. Thank you very much.
Question 5, please. This is what we want. Might be cool, but it's a good program. Question 5.
How do you provide updates to the system? And do we have to do those? And how long is the system down just, to do the upgrades?
I'll answer this to me if I may, Stephen. Just a little bit straight. No, that's me now. The system isn't down. The system doesn't go down to the updates. We do the updates remotely for you. We had one system which had been up for just over 3 years, and the only reason it went down was they turned the electricity off over a weekend, and the uninterruptible power supply also broke that weekend. So that particular system went down. Otherwise, the systems just don't get turned off. They will. Updates are free of charge, obviously. They're covered by your support and license costs. And typically, if we have to install a fix, the user hits the refresh button on the browser, they will have the fix. No more to it than that.
Thank you. Question 6, please.
I'm an existing V4 user. I've seen an interesting module at one of our sister companies who's also a V4 user. How do I get this added to my system, and what is the cost of adding this new module?
Right. Again, I'll answer this to me, but this is a licensing cost question. There is no cost. If we have done a module for somebody already, then you get it. If it's a particularly complex module, there may be a day or two of work to make rearrangements to the databases to make special configurations for that module. We have to do that. But we do not charge for what we've already done. If sister company has done a module and you want access to it, or if indeed another customer of ours has had a module and you want access to it, you get it. There's no benefit to us in charging anybody twice for what we do once.
How very nice. How very altruistic.
No, not in the slightest.
I have to say, it's so unlike the answers I get from my politician palace.
No, it's not a reason.
Okay. Question 7, please.
over here to Dobin. I have multiple sites around the world, and the ERP databases are already suffering from data extract overload. How can VCore fit in with what is already a busy schedule on these databases?
This is our large American cousins. In this particular case, very appropriate answer, because they have 54 sites worldwide, running a variety of systems and serious data all over places. The way VCore handles it, we do updates, but we don't do all the updates all the time. Things like part master, which change rarely, do that overnight. Things like sale orders, which change frequently, do that every few minutes. It's a differential type load. There's also intelligence in there, so something like transaction history, it will load and then stop, and start the load again from where it left off. And as a customer, we configured that. We set it up the way we wanted it, our network analysts kept an eye on what was happening, and we load balanced it until we were happy with it. In one instance, we gave the guys for Fifth Element 20 minutes to load all the data from Japan, in the middle of Japan's night, which happened to be 11 o'clock our time. They did it. By fitting it all in cleverly, it worked. That's how we do it.
Question 8.
Can VCore work with mixed ERP databases, e.g. Barn, products from QAD, JD Edwards, and Oracle and SAP?
Thank you for reading it. It's a very appropriate. Well done. I noticed that as well.
The temporizer.
No, you didn't. Bonjour. Simply because this particular customer, we have a QAD product and JD Edwards. And VCore just loads it. Yes, absolutely. And we can also load our warranty system in there and data from our CAD/CAM system. And in fact, we load data from the courier system, which is out the web. All integrates into one place, and we see all the signals go. There's no differentiation as far as our users are concerned.
Question 9.
Hello.
Sometimes I need to be able to compare one set of data with another. Can I have more than one screen each with different data and anyone?
Will you hear that one? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will answer this question as me, because again, it's a licensing thing. Yes, simply put, because there is no licensing limit, you can have as many screens open as you want, as long as your browser will support it. So if your browser will handle 20 sessions, have 20 sessions open. That's the only limitation. We don't put any license limitation in the panel. Anybody?
Question 10. We are getting near the end. Question 10.
Hello, Peter and Dobin. I have a very complex ERP system where intercompany ordering between sites affects how we process orders and invoices. Can VCore handle less significant MFG Pro bespoke requirements?
I like this one next. It fits. First, yes, it can. We have significant changes because we're a large corporate. We have intercompany ordering as well as customer orders coming in, and obviously we then have intercompany invoicing, and we have dispatch internally and externally. We have significant changes, not only in terms of code, but we have database schema changes, structural changes, you know, we had everything. And we started to handle it. VCore has a simple system whereby we told it what the fields were, we told it what the tables were, it was integrated into the load, and it just handled it. This Lego brick concept works. We said, that's the bricks we want, it loaded into it.
Notice the Lego reference again. I should point out, this is the BBC, and this program is not sponsored by the Lego Corporation.